No Man's Sky doesn't have a gameplay problem. I start this video with a broad sentence as I want to get a clear message across. The game may not be everyone's cup of tea, piece of the pie, or perfect game, but as far as gameplay goes, this game has got a lot of it. Before launch, we were set unrealistic standards of what the game had in it. Poor marketing and pressure from publishers probably didn't help this, but the standards were set high. In launch, this was not received well. However, with recent updates, the game that was lacking in gameplay has now sprouted itself into one of the most influential and genre-defying games of all time. From its core, No Man's Sky is a simply beautiful, relaxing experience which can be enjoyed by anyone. It's aimed at all ages, any sex, any gender identity, and most importantly, any type of playstyle. The issue is not the game, it's the standards we try and set for it. Of course, there are people that would want these insane questlines, raids, boss missions, experience bars, levels, and more to make it fit their playstyle, but we're losing the main premise of what the game wants to be. Hello Games described their game as a game about exploration and survival in an infinite procedurally generated galaxy. And before anyone asks, no, this isn't a response to any videos made about this topic, specifically Legacy Zero. His video is really well put together, and if you haven't watched it, I would really recommend it, and it's a really good argument, and in some cases I may agree. So is there a point to this video? Well, there is, yeah. The point of the matter is that No Man's Sky is far from lacking in gameplay, because the gameplay we have always wanted is there already. We have these unlimited questlines, which while I do believe, I would be lying if I said I don't think they should be expanded upon, they're there. We have a story that builds on your choices, another upgraded storyline of the Atlas Path which can have multiple endings, and to build on that, a quote-unquote ending to the storyline, which we never had before, a huge questline for base building, and more story arcs being added in almost every single update. We've had the Artemis story arc, we've now got the Dangers of the Deep, the one added in the Abyss story arc, and who knows what's going to be added in the Beyond update. The game's exploration mechanic has been built upon every single update, with the addition of new biomes, special biomes, exotic planets, crashed freighters, underwater ruins, salvageable bones, scrap to explore and find, new treasures to uncover, and even more. There's always something to do in No Man's Sky, because once you have done one thing, you can move on to the next. While I don't believe it has as much a gameplay or exploration problem, I feel it could instead be facing two different things. The major one, which I see mentioned a lot, is the replayability value of the game. Now, you can explore for hours and hours, and even just finding planets after you've completed the entire everything else to do, but base building, the story arcs, all of it, you've traveled to different galaxies, even finding new planets which no one has seen before and new animals. There's something about that which really adds this flair to the game. And for a lot of the audience, this is their main attraction to it, and that's really great. But there's still another part of the audience that we can't forget, and this is the people that want more. This is where I believe some of the updates in Beyond are definitely going to help. A large portion of the player base was so disappointed at launch because they couldn't play with their friends. A universe this large can get lonely sometimes, but with Next, they added the ability to play properly with 4 friends. This was a great stepping stone in the direction for No Man's Sky, and even this small change made this large, infinite universe feel ever so close to home. But it actually made doing some of the more tedious parts of the game, like grinding, just become this social experience. Something that even though it might not be the most interesting part to the game, you can actually do this with other people and work towards a common goal. For example, base building, a lot of people actually find it kind of annoying and sometimes hard to navigate, but having 3 other people just there helping you about feels like something you can achieve, something you can make. This huge structure is something you guys have made in this huge empty universe. You've made your mark in it with this structure that 3 or 4 of you collectively have made. With Beyond, we are promised an expanded multiplayer, and in my hopes, this will bring the community together, whatever it is. Because while mining for resources may not be the most fun aspect of the game, and it might not even feel like a gameplay element, doing this with other people, interacting with them, even maybe just maybe having to fend them off may feel less like a grind and more of an element to the survival gameplay style. To go back to replayability, this is my point. Expanding upon the multiplayer aspect, which it may not be in priority for some of the player base, and it might not make the game more enjoyable for some of the player base, for some other people this may make the game feel more replayable and just fun in general. It helps bring people back, knowing that they can play with their friends and work towards these goals which they have set together. Like, for example, Space Engineers. You work towards basically creating a starship which is bigger and better, and you can all work on it collectively. This is where I see No Man's Sky sort of taking a turn, with the possible hints of shipbuilding and all of these other parts. Like I said, in turn, this just makes the game replayable and easy to pick up for everyone. The other issue is just unrealistic standards just set by some people. There's no one in the community that I've personally seen, no like community members or YouTubers have done this, but it's more some people are setting themselves such high goals, they're just not going to happen. For example, No Man's Sky will never be the MMO of space games. Sean stated this so many times in loads of interviews, and he's even put it on Twitter and on the No Man's Sky website. Player created cities seems a little bit too far off as of yet, but I won't bite my tongue on that one. And other MMO aspects like loot drops or raids and like loot specific to your player character, there's something that I just believe will never be added. Those huge player controlled spaceships with toilets, beds, bars and restaurants, and aliens walking around it being your waitress, that ain't gonna happen. This isn't Space Citizen. No Man's Sky is meant to feel and play like an arcade game, be easy to pick up and learn, but take a long time to master the gameplay curve. If you were to tell me that No Man's Sky had an exploration or gameplay problem, I would understand your frustration and point of view, but I wouldn't agree. For me personally, the game has flourished and turned into something beautiful, and I know there's a few of us who still really do agree with that. So, in reply, for me personally, No Man's Sky does not have a gameplay problem, just some other aspects from a community point of view that it needs to face. For a game so controversial, the best part about it is that it's still staying true to Sean's previous vision. And before I forget, with the recent Vulkan update, the game is running beautiful. If you haven't updated to experimental, I would personally give it a shot. There's a few bugs here and there, but that's what you expect from pretty much a beta test. I really can't wait until the Vulkan update is pretty much polished for the launch of Beyond, as it's working so damn well for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you shared the opinion or disagreed, let me know. And like I said, give Legacy Zero's video a watch, as you might agree with him more than you do me. He's also got another video on it. He's got the gameplay problem and the exploration problem. I will not say the videos are bad, because they're not. They're actually very informative. And like I said, you might just agree with him. As always, keep it chill, keep it real. My Twitter's below. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon and catch you later. Peace.